B-ranked teams have average to slightly above average rosters, positioning them as potential playoff contenders depending on how the season unfolds. These teams possess notable strengths, but they also have clear weaknesses or uncertainties that put them a step behind the top championship favorites. If they capitalize on their strengths and find consistency, they could make a strong postseason push. However, if they struggle with key issues, they might end up with just an average record. Now let's explore the key factors that could shape the success of the B-ranked teams. Minnesota Twins. Team analysis. Despite consistently winning division titles, the team has struggled to go further in the playoffs, and now faces a crucial turning point. The offense features stars like Carlos Correa, shortstop, and Byron Buxton, outfielder. But their recent seasons have been affected by injuries and inconsistent performance. Young third baseman Royce Lewis emerged in 2024, and improving the lineup around him will be key. The team's power and speed are about league average, but when things click, they can score efficiently with both home runs and situational hitting. The starting rotation is solid, led by Pablo Lopez and Joe Ryan, veteran Sonny Gray, who may leave via free agency, and young pitcher Bailey Ober add depth, making this a rotation projected to rank between 6th and 10th in the league. The bullpen is anchored by fireballing closer Juan Duran, with reliable setup options like Griffin Jacks. Defensively, the team is above average, particularly in the centerline positions. Catcher Christian Vasquez, second baseman Jorge Polanco, shortstop Correa, and center fielder Michael A. Taylor. Overall, the Twins have a well-rounded roster that avoids major weaknesses but lacks standout strength. The front office remained quiet in the offseason, opting not to make significant signings, likely placing faith in the development of internal prospects like infield prospect Brooks Lee and young pitchers. Key players are Carlos Correa, elite defender and clutch hitter at shortstop, Byron Buxton, a 40-homer potential outfielder when healthy, though increasingly used as a designated hitter. Royce Lewis, young power hitter, broke out in the 2024 postseason and is emerging as a new centerpiece. Breakout candidate Edouard Julien, 2B/DH, could become a key offensive weapon if he improves his already impressive on-base skills. Top prospects include Brooks Lee, infielder, and 2023 first-round pick Walker Jenkins, outfielder. Playoff chances, 50-50. The Twins finished far behind the Guardians in 2024 and missed the playoffs, but they still secured back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since 2019. Some fans were disappointed by the lack of major offseason moves, but sportsbooks still favor them as the division's top contender. This is largely because the AL Central remains one of MLB's weakest divisions, and Minnesota is considered the safest bet among them. With a stable lineup and a solid rotation, they remain in the mix to reclaim the division title if they can learn from last season's struggles. Boston Red Sox. Team analysis. A historic franchise aiming to rebound from a rebuilding phase. The lineup is built around slugger Rafael Devers, third baseman, complemented by contact hitters and power bats like Masataka Yoshida, outfielder, and Trevor Story, shortstop. In the offseason, they acquired powerful third baseman Alex Bregman from the Astros, forming a formidable left-side infield duo with Devers. This move significantly boosts their offensive potential and run production. On the pitching side, longtime ace Chris Sale has shown signs of decline, and the team plans to rely on newly acquired Garrett Crochet from the White Sox as the new rotation anchor. Crochet has primarily been a reliever, but is expected to transition into a starting role. Other starters include young talent Brayan Bello, veteran James Paxton, who might leave in free agency, and Corey Kluber. However, the lack of a true ace raises concerns about the rotation's overall stability. In the bullpen, closer Kenley Jansen's contract expires after the 2024 season, and young arms like Josh Winkowski and Chris Martin are being considered as potential replacements. Defensively, the team has struggled with errors, making infield defense a key area for improvement. Overall, the Red Sox are an offense-heavy team, and their success will depend on whether they can stabilize their pitching staff and defense. Key players Rafael Devers, power-hitting cleanup batter, Alex Bregman, clutch hitter with a strong bat, and Masataka Yoshida, high-average contact hitter, form the core of the offense. A breakout candidate is first baseman Tristan Casas, whose power started to show in the second half of last season. If he maintains that form, the lineup's run production could reach another level. Among young players, starting pitcher Brayan Bello, a rising fastball specialist, and outfielder Kadane Rafaela, speed and defensive standout, are names to watch. Playoff chances, around 50-50. Playing in the ultra-competitive AL East makes their road to the postseason difficult, but with key roster upgrades, some experts view them as a dark horse World Series contender. Betting markets currently have them at plus 4,000, 40-1 odds to win the championship, with manager Alex Cora even mentioned as a candidate for Manager of the Year. If they avoid a slow start and their pitching staff performs better than expected, they could stay in the playoff race. San Diego Padres. Team analysis. Despite a quiet offseason with no major signings, the Padres remain a team with high potential. They lost a key offensive piece with Juan Soto's departure, traded to the Mets. But they still have stars like Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, and Xander Bogaerts anchoring the lineup. Tatis Jr., after playing a full 2024 season, has regained his explosive form, making the duo of him and Machado a formidable threat. While their offensive production remains strong, they will need players like Jake Cronenworth and Ha-Seong Kim to step up to fill the gap left by Soto. The pitching staff took a major hit with the departure of Cy Young winner Blake Snell, signed with the Dodgers. The remaining rotation includes veterans like Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove, but Darvish has shown signs of aging. There are no clear young reinforcements to replace traded prospect Ryan Weathers, sent to the Marlins in 2024, leaving the rotation thin. The bullpen has also seen significant changes, with former closer Josh Hader leaving in free agency. Robert Suarez and Steven Wilson are candidates to take over closing duties, but they lack experience in that role. Defensively, the infield remains solid, and Tatis Jr. has performed well since transitioning to the outfield. Overall, while the lineup remains powerful, the pitching staff has weakened significantly, making it hard to ignore the team's decline in overall strength. Key players Manny Machado, elite two-way third baseman, Fernando Tatis Jr., five-tool superstar outfielder, and Xander Bogaerts, high-contact shortstop, are the team's cornerstones. A breakout candidate is Luis Campusano, catcher, who is known for his strong bat. If he secures the starting catcher role, he could strengthen the bottom of the lineup. Top prospects include Jackson Merrill, highly regarded infield prospect, and Egon Soderstrom, catcher at first baseman. Playoff chances, slightly below average to 50-50. In 2024, they pushed the Dodgers to the brink in the NLDS, showing they had a roster capable of contending for a title. However, their quiet offseason contrasts sharply with the Dodgers' aggressive upgrades, causing their odds to decline. Winning the division seems unlikely, making the wildcard race their best bet. That said, with a roster still packed with star power, Padres remain a team that could compete if everything clicks.